Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Warriors NBA Play-In Tournament Injury Report vs Grizzlies is a good sign. The Golden State Warriors and Memphis Grizzlies are set to square off in the Western Conference's number 7-8 seed game in the NBA Play-In Tournament on Tuesday night. During the final stretch of the regular season, the Warriors were a bit banged up, as several key players were dealing with lingering injuries. However, ahead of this crucial game, they have received some great news. Golden State found themselves in the play-in tournament after suffering a crushing 124-119 overtime loss to the Los Angeles Clippers in their regular season finale. Now, they will have to win to get into the playoffs. The good news for them, though, is that they have a clean bill of health, as they have nobody on their injury report for this game, with Stephen Curry, who has been dealing with a thumb injury, and Jimmy Butler, who suffered a thigh injury against the Clippers, both set to be available. On the other side of the floor, the Grizzlies have been spiraling as of late, which resulted in head coach Taylor Jenkins getting fired with just 9 games left in the season. Tuomas Isalo has replaced Jenkins in the interim, but he hasn't managed to make things much better. Memphis is relatively healthy for this game, though, as they will only be without Jalen Wells and Brandon Clark for this bout with Golden State. The winner of this game will earn the number 7 seed in the playoff picture out west, drawing them a first-round matchup against the Houston Rockets. The loser will then play the winner of the number 9-10 seed game between the Sacramento Kings and Dallas Mavericks. Whoever ends up winning that game would earn the number 8 seed and face off against the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round. The Golden State Warriors suffered a crushing 124-119 overtime loss to the Los Angeles Clippers on Sunday afternoon in their regular season finale, resulting in them finishing the campaign as the number 7 seed in the Western Conference, meaning they will have to earn their way into the 2025 NBA playoffs via the NBA's play-in tournament. During the game, fans noticed that Jonathan Kuminga did not take the court, and one insider believes he knows why. Head coach Steve Kerr's decision to not turn to Kuminga off the bench like he usually has done throughout the year raised some eyebrows, especially with the postseason right around the corner. According to Warriors insider Tim Kawakami, he believes that Kerr doesn't want to disrupt the chemistry Golden State currently has with each other by trying to force Kuminga in the rotation. "I'm a Kuminga guy," Kawakami said on Warriors Plus Minus. "I like his game. I understand that he does throw knots into their offense sometimes. I think his talents are over and above all that, but I don't think there's a great momentum in the locker room for JK to play. It just does not feel that way, I'll put it that way. They like the other stuff they do," as Kerr said. "We've got a unit that we like, they've got a rotation they like. I think we all can see, maybe you need to be better in certain areas." He has not reached that conclusion, that it's not worth the risk of playing him to mess up their chemistry. Kuminga's future with the Warriors has come into question several times over the past couple of years, but as recently as February, the team seemed intent on signing him to a long-term contract extension. Now, though, things could be different, as Kerr is willingly leaving the talented forward out of his rotation, which isn't a particularly encouraging sign. While Kuminga is only set for restricted free agency over the offseason, Golden State's front office could move on from him if he's become a detriment to their locker room. First, they will be focused on finding their way into the playoffs and going on a deep run. The Warriors will square off against the Memphis Grizzlies in their number 7-8 seed play-in game, with tip-off scheduled for 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, April 15. Warriors earn strong regular season grade after second-half surge, playoff momentum. The Golden State Warriors had a disappointing ending to the regular season after losing to the Los Angeles Clippers on Sunday, but they had a solid season overall. Of course, the Warriors got off to a great start to the season before things changed completely as they tumbled down the Western Conference standings. They sat in 10th in the West ahead of the NBA trade deadline where their season outlook would completely change. Golden State landed Jimmy Butler from the Miami Heat at the trade deadline, a move that has made them into a potential championship contender. With Butler on the roster next to Stephen Curry, Draymond Green and the rest of Golden State's rotation, the Warriors were able to go on an impressive run as they shot up the West standings. They then ended the season with a loss to the Clippers that saw them fall to 7th in the West and into the play-in tournament. With the Warriors' mid-season turnaround, they earn a B- grade for their regular season as they have turned themselves into potential title contenders. Of course, Curry led the way for the Warriors this season while Green has become one of the favorites to win Defensive Player of the Year, but it was Butler who was the X-factor this season. After acquiring Butler from the Heat, the Warriors looked like a completely different team, and it is clear that their championship window may still be open despite moving on from Klay Thompson in the offseason. Despite this, Golden State has a tough road ahead of them due to them being in the play-in against the Memphis Grizzlies before they either face off against the Houston Rockets or Oklahoma City Thunder, if they are able to win one of their possible 2 play-in games. Of course, a series with the Rockets would be the preferred outcome for Golden State, but either way, they will be a major threat to either team in the first round if they are able to get past the play-in. Golden State Warriors linked to 10-time All-Star to round out roster. Between key players like Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and Brandon Podziemski, the Golden State Warriors look poised to make some noise in the postseason, and Butler, Green, and Curry are all signed through the next 2 seasons, giving them a clear window. However, aside from Kevin Looney, who will be a free agent this summer, the Warriors lack size. That said, they have the assets and motivation to add a win-now player who, like Butler, could be interested in cementing his legacy. If only there was a plausible target who has already enjoyed success next to Curry. Bringing in Anthony Davis would prove to be tough, but with reports that the league's salary cap will go up this summer, it is plausible. The Warriors could offer Dallas a package centered on a first-round pick in 2027 and swaps in 2029 and 2031. That's more than Dallas got for Luka Doncic, and those picks wouldn't convey until well after the Warriors' title window closes, making them even more valuable. Crafting a compelling trade package to lure Davis away from Dallas would be challenging for the Warriors, wrote the Sporting News' Caleb Hightower. However, considering they have plenty of assets to dangle in front of the new-look Mavericks, they could complete a notable off-season trade and elevate their mediocre frontcourt. When healthy, Davis is one of the best players in the league still and is a two-way force. Last season, he averaged 24.7 points, 12.6 rebounds, and 2.3 blocks. A lineup of Curry, Green, Butler, Davis, and either Moses Moody or Brandon Podziemski would be tough to beat, giving Curry enough support to ride off into the sunset as a champion and lock for a top 5 player ever. And you, fan? What do you think about Anthony Davies' situation? Write to us in the comments.